YouTube crew, what is going on? And welcome back to Rebirth U, where I'm going to teach you how to dominate Rebirth lobbies through comprehensive tip videos, gameplay breakdowns, and live commentaries. Now, Rebirth is obviously filled with buildings, and people love to camp in those buildings. So today, I'm going to give you a few tips that will allow you to be more successful, both on the offensive side of pushing buildings and the defensive side of being pushed when you're in a building. As always, if you find this video helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, comment hashtag RebirthU down in the comments below for the algorithm, and let's get into it. Now, as I mentioned, I'm breaking today's video down into two parts. The first is going to be defense, and then we're going to transition into offense. But before we do, if you are looking to get better at Rebirth, make sure you are subscribed with that notification bell turned on. I'm doing videos every single day helping people get better at Rebirth. And if you want to catch me live, I play live, I do live gameplay breakdowns, I do live commentaries over on Twitch, so make sure you drop a follow there as well. So when we talk about the defensive side of buildings, you are being pushed by a player or a team. There's really two main things that I want to break down. And the first is your positioning on stairwells. There's two positions that you can take on stairwells that will allow you to be successful. So we're going to break those down. And then we're going to get into a little bit of strategy, which is, sometimes the best defense is actually offense, is taking control of that situation again. So in terms of positioning on stairwells, there's two main positions that you can take. The first is going to be straight holding that stairwell. You have full eyes, full sight on that stairwell. You are holding that thing, and you just need to really be ready for somebody to peek around that corner. What you don't want is to lose a gunfight to somebody who is centering and anticipating really well, and you lose that because you're just sitting there and your reaction time's a little bit off. So you need to be anticipating people around that corner, using your audio cues to understand who's under you and where those footsteps are, and kind of when people are about to challenge. So you just need to be ready in that scenario, and you do not want to lose this fight. This is a fight that you should not lose. Now, the second way to play a stairwell is to play the off angle, and you're seeing clips roll right here of me kind of playing this off angle a little bit. And the off angle is great because your opponent is not anticipating you. Somebody that turns that corner, perfectly centers at the top of the stairwell, is anticipating you, does not see you there. But you're ultimately going to be able to hear that person pushing up the stairwell and time it correctly. So what you want to do is kind of play the off angle, play the audio cues, understand when they're pushing up, and your goal is to really catch them off guard. And you will catch them off guard 90+% of the time, and it's a great way to really kick off that fight. The off angle is also really great if you are low plates, because you have to really find a way to win that fight without taking any damage. If you're just holding that top of the stairwell and that guy turns the corner and you have no plates, you're probably going to lose that fight. But if you play the off angle and catch that person completely off guard, because of the quick TTK as we've talked about, you can win that fight even though you have no plates. So now let's go into point number two, which is sometimes offense is the best defense. And this is why I started with the defensive side, because we're really going to break down how to offensively push buildings next. But I always say that you're either pushing somebody or you're being pushed. So when you are in a situation where you're stuck in a building and there's people around you and you're playing in a defensive mode, you need to find a way to take control of that situation again and start to be the one pushing other players. So what this generally means is finding a way to get it down in a thirst, understanding where everybody is, and then you start to push those players, because now you are the one pushing. Now you're the one in control of that situation. And instead of them three-stacking a building and pushing you, now you are trying to separate players. You're constantly repositioning. You're playing fast, and you are on the offensive end. You have control over the situation. So sometimes the best defense in a building is to actually play offense. So now let's talk about the offensive side of buildings, and there's three things that I want to talk about here. The first is going to be what I always talk about, but I need to hammer this point home because of how important it is. Anticipation and centering. When you are pushing a building, you have to be anticipating your enemies being at the top of the stairwell. You have to be centering your crosshairs at the top of the stairwell. You have to be ready to shoot, because here's what it comes down to. 99% of people are going to be directly holding that stairwell. They're not going to be playing the off angle like I taught you how to do today. They're going to be playing that top angle of the stairwell. So when you come flying around that corner, if you are ready to shoot, if you anticipate, and you don't even have to center perfectly, maybe you just need to make a micro adjustment to get your crosshairs onto that person, you are going to win that 50-50. But if you turn that corner and you're not totally ready, that person is going to ultimately win that. And the reason being is, guys, when you turn that corner and fly around that corner, there is a reaction time component to your enemy. They have to see you, they have to understand that you just came around that corner, and then they have to start shooting at you, and then they have to hit their shots, and then they have to get the down. But ultimately, because of the fast TTK, it doesn't happen that fast. So if you play quick, if you anticipate, if you center, and you are ready for that person, if you pre-fire that, you are going to win that gunfight a lot of the time. Now, let's talk about playing that off angle. As soon as you see that the top of the stairwell is cleared, you need to start understanding where other people can be. Are they going to be right up the stairs to the left? Are they going to be in a room where, you know, throughout that building? Using the mini-map to your advantage, understanding where those people are, ultimately will allow you to start to center better and anticipate better. Real quick, by the way, just a note for anybody who doesn't know, on the mini-map, there's 3 levels. If there is a dot with no arrow, that person's on the same level as you. If there's a dot with an arrow above, that person's above you. If there's a dot with an arrow below, that person is below you. I just want to quickly touch base because I get that question all of the time. So anticipation and centering is crucial for winning building fights. So next up, we have point number 2 of the offensive side of playing buildings, which if you've caught me on stream before, you know that I absolutely love to do this. And this is always looking for flank spots and jump spots. As we've talked about a lot today, people love to camp stairwells. And look, when somebody's holding that stairwell, it is a little bit like a 50-50 situation. It is a tough spot to be in sometimes. So if we can find unique ways to bypass that stairwell and use those to our advantage, catch our opponent off guard, and get the easy down and thirst instead of putting ourselves in a 50-50 situation, I take it every single time. So next up, let's talk about point number 3 for the offensive side of pushing buildings. And this one is super important for people to understand because I see people die this way all the time. And that is, be quick to get out. And what I mean by that is, when we are offensively challenging somebody, there's a high probability that that person is holding an angle. They're holding the top of the stairwell. They're holding a specific angle in a room. So when we go to challenge that, if things don't get off to a great start, if we miss some shots, if that person is perfectly holding that angle and just starts to absolutely torch you, and you can feel that fight going downhill, get out of there. Use your movement. Use your slide cancel to say, oh, this doesn't feel right. I'm going to lose this. Let's get out before I go down. And then ultimately, once you're out of that scenario, now you can reposition. You can potentially go back to re-challenging that person using better anticipation and better centering. You can potentially go back to point number 2 and hit a flank spot or a jump spot, and you can re-challenge that person once you're replated. But too many people go to challenge and they miss a shot or two, and they end up just going down in that scenario, even though they have time to get out. So I hope you found today's video helpful in terms of how to defensively and offensively play buildings. Start to implement this into your game. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Rebirth U. Let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.